Okay, as you know, in the content portion of a D2L shell, if you want to start uploading handouts and PowerPoints, you have to, at the very minimum, go on the left here, click this Add a Module button, and create at least one module. Module is D2L lingo for a folder. So casual D2L people will usually make something called maybe course documents. And if all you have are some PowerPoints and a syllabus to put in, you could just upload everything into here. And then, once you've made it, you have the new button. You can use upload files to bring anything in. If you're teaching online or hybrid, you're going to have a lot of stuff in your D2L shell, and it's better to be a little more organized. So what I see the most in terms of how to organize the content tends to be a week by week thing. So rather than just having course documents, you would on the left here click add a module and do week 1. And then you can do week 2. And again, you don't have to go week by week, but that's probably the most popular one. So everything the students do in the first week of the course, you could put into the week 1 folder. When you're building week 2, click on the left, queue up week 2, put everything that they're going to need in week 2 in here, and so on and so forth. So rather than having a course documents folder, I think I'm going to rename this into rename modules. You just queue them up and click at the top. If you click this, it turns into a cursor. So rather than just having course documents, I'm going to do a start here and course info. And then in here I'll put the syllabus, the getting started kind of stuff. So as you know, one way to upload files into here is if you go new, upload files, my computer, upload. It gives you a file browser and you can pick multiple files actually. If you hold down Control on your keyboard, you can select multiple, open. There they go. I hit add. And there's my files. I'll show you another trick. You don't have to go new, upload files. If you either have 2 monitors or if you have one big monitor, you can kind of shrink down the web browser here and queue up your file browser on your computer. And you can select a bunch of files, holding down Control or Shift, and drag them onto the web browser. You see that line up here? If I drag it onto the web browser, and let go when I see a bold blue line, it will upload them all at once. And there they are. So that's a trick I would like to show you. Couple other tricks. I have week 1, week 2 in the start here module, but I want them to go over on the left under week 1 and week 2. So I don't have to delete these and re-upload them. You can move things around pretty quickly if you drag and drop. So week 1 lecture, part 1, if I click the spot to the left and click and drag over to the left here, when this turns blue, let go, week 1 has been moved there. Part 2, go to the left, let go, that's been moved. You see the counter here that tells you how many items you have in each module. So I can do the same here. And I can just kind of clean up the order here. So that's how to drag and drop. A few other things I'll show you. You can reorder things, like in this instance I have reading notes part 2, part 1, but I want them to watch part 1 first. You can reorder within a module. You click that same spot and drag up, let go. There I go, I've reordered. So that is a quick way to do it. Back here in the course info module, what you can see, rather than uploading a gigantic 10, 15, 20 page syllabus, I've kind of chopped it into smaller bits so that a student, maybe they're looking for how to get help. They don't have to open the syllabus and scroll for a long time hunting for it. You can consider chopping your syllabus into smaller pieces to make it easier for the students to find the bit that they want. So in this case, if they needed to find resources and help, they can just click on it, and there it goes. The next thing I'd like to show you is what some of these other types of content are. So I showed you uploading files. Again, it'll take just about anything up to a gigabyte. The next thing I'll show you under this is this create a file. People sometimes flip-flop what upload file and create a file is. What create a file does is it just gives you this big text box inside your web browser. And what you can do with this is if you just want to quickly put together a short little document without having to type it up in Word, save it, and upload it. So in this case, I'm going to do about your professor. I can, you got all the controls here along the top. It's not exactly Word, but it gives you most of the things you need. So you can just type away in here if you just need to, throw together something short and quick. You have controls up here. If you click this little camera button, you can upload a picture. So I'll put in my professional picture here. Add decoration, and there I go. This is something to consider including, so your learners know that a real person is teaching the course. You put things like my office hours are, my office phone is, things like that. You save and close, and there it is. This just comes up like a web page inside of D2L. What's nice about this is that if I wanted to edit this, I can just click this edit button, and it comes back up, and I can just type away. Keep typing away, fix a typo, update it for the new term, and I save it. And so that's much faster than with a Word document having to download it or delete it, update it, and re-upload it. So that's what this new this creative file does. So it's pretty handy. Again, mentioning the documents in here, if you queue one up, a Word or a PowerPoint, it will display it for you, but you can't edit these once they're inside of D2L. To fix something like this that I've typed in Word, I would have to delete it. It's found right here. If you need to throw something away, delete it, update it on my computer, and then re-upload the corrected copy. So that's why I like that create a file option. The other most commonly used one in here is create a link, and this is simply if you have a web page with something educational on it you found on the internet, copy the web address up here. So this is an example. You just paste in the web address. It has to have the HTTP at the beginning, and then you hit create, and there it is. So when the students hit it, it just takes them out to the website. It's that simple. Sometimes people will take their web address and they'll paste it into a Word document and upload that Word document. You don't have to do that. This is much quicker. This video and audio, I'll hit on this real quickly. This isn't actually a very good or commonly used feature. If you have a video file, an MP4, MOV, what have you, that's short, and you want to put it into your course, you can just upload it using this upload files. Or if you have a link to a YouTube or a media space, just do the create a link. What this does is, this is if you have an embed code from some certain videos they'll present you an embed code if you want to have your video embedded in a course or a web page. This doesn't get used that often, and it's I would stay away from this. Upload your videos just using this. If it's a short one, it's not too big. Create a link if you want to send them out to YouTube. These features are rarely used. The next thing I'll talk about in here is what these new things are. So if you click new Dropbox, for instance, what this does, this takes you to a simplified version of the Dropbox tool. So if I come into the Dropbox and hit new folder, I get the restrictions, enabling turn it in, attaching to the gradebook, attaching a rubric. I get all those options. If I come into this doesn't give me everything. Same thing with the quizzes and the discussion. So I don't like these that often because they don't give you all the options. So even if I use this, and I wanted to do an end date or enable Turnitin or attach a rubric, I'd have to come back into the Dropbox area, edit it here to add the things that that screen wouldn't let me do. So my recommendation is come to the Dropbox folder first, build all your Dropbox folders, go to the discussions, build all your discussions, go to the quizzes, and build all your quizzes, and then in the content, don't use these because they don't give you all the options. I don't like these. I don't like these, and I don't like this. So if you've done that, if you're stitching together your course content, and you've already come to the Dropbox and built all your stuff, you already set up your discussions, you already set up your quizzes. What I would do is, so for week 1, for instance, there's a quiz I want them to take. What you could do is you could go to Add Existing Activities, say I want to add an existing quiz, and what this does is this shows you the quizzes you've already built. You can pick one of the quizzes you've already built, and what this does is this makes a shortcut. So when the student's in week 1 and they're going through the items, when they hit this, it shoots them right over to the quizzes and pulls up the quiz that you want them to take. So this doesn't create a quiz, but it's a shortcut to a quiz, and that's what these Add Existing Activities do. Just a shortcut to send the student precisely to the Dropbox you want them to do, to the quiz you want them to take. So I would use those instead. So that is the basics, part 1 of how to do the content in here. I have more to show in part 2, but that is the basics of how to get things into here, what these different types of items are, how to move things around. So more